Hello, everyone. Bill here from the Attentive Traveler. Welcome to episode number 8, Siena, Italy. Siena was medieval Florence's arch-rival. And while Florence ultimately won the battle for political and economic superiority, Siena still competes for the tourists. Sure, Florence has the heavyweight sights, but Siena seems to be every Italian connoisseur's favorite town. In this episode, I'll briefly connect the dots. Our choices on getting from Florence to Siena, as well as getting from the train station to our hotel. We'll then dive into how we decided what to see, where to lay our heads, and what to eat. And we'll also discuss tours and whether we chose any guides. Situated atop three hills, Siena, it qualifies as Italy's ultimate hill town. Its thriving historic center, with movie-set lanes cascading every which way, offers Italy's best medieval experience. Most people visit Siena, which is just 35 miles south of Florence, as a day trip, but it's best experienced by twilight. That's why we'll be spending 2 nights here. And while Florence has the blockbuster museums, Siena has the easy-to-enjoy soul. Courtyards sport flower-decked walls, alleys dead end at rooftop views, and today, even with all the tourists, a strong local spirit pervades. For those who dream of a fiat-free Italy, Siena is a haven. Pedestrians rule in the old center of town, as the only drivers allowed are residents and cabbies. Nurse a drink on the main square, wander narrow streets, tether an imaginary horse to the old metal rings, and be stirred by colorful flags. Take time to savor the first European city to eliminate automobile traffic from its main square way back in 1966. And then, just to be silly, wonder what would happen if they did that in your hometown. 2 nights is said to be perfect for a visit. We'll arrive later in the afternoon from Florence, settle into the magic of the first evening, and then sightsee for a solid half day the following day. The afternoon and evening will be reserved for relaxing and enjoying the beauty that is Siena. So let's connect the dots. How do we get from the hotel in Florence to Siena? Well, it's actually another very easy trip. We'll grab a cab from our hotel to the Firenze Santa Maria train station to catch our regional 18223 at around 5:10 p.m. in Siena. It's only about an hour and 30-minute train ride to connect to the main train station in Siena, and then we're going to catch a cab to our hotel. Siena has less of the sights, but more of the medieval magic. 2 sites are highlighted as a 3-star must-see, along with a couple of 2 stars to fill out a morning and afternoon. Il Campo is the heart of Siena, both geographically and metaphorically. Laid out in the 12th century, today Il Campo, officially the Piazza del Campo, is the only square I've heard of where it is said that people actually stretch out as if at a beach. It is here that twice each summer the Il Campo hosts the famous Palio horse races. The city tower, Torre del Mangia, was built around 1340. At 330 feet, it is one of Italy's tallest secular towers. Medieval Siena was a proud republic, and this tower stands like an exclamation point, an architectural declaration of independence from papacy and empire. The pair of she-wolves atop columns flanking the cathedral's facade says it all. The Duomo was built and paid for, not by the Pope, but by the people and the Republic of Siena. This 13th century Gothic cathedral with its striped bell tower is heaped with statues, plastered with frescoes, and paved with art. The Duomo Museum and Viewpoint, housing the cathedral's art, is located in the skeleton of the Duomo's grand but unfinished extension. Stand eye to eye with the saints and angels who once languished, unknown, in the church's upper reaches. The Santa Maria della Scala, which is a museum opposite the Duomo, operated for centuries as a hospital, a foundling home or orphanage, and pilgrims' lodging. Many of those activities are visible in the 15th century frescoes of its main hall, the Pellegriniano. Today, the hospital and its cellars are filled with exhibits. Now, finding a room in Siena is tough during Easter or the Palio, July 2nd and August 16th are the dates of the Palio. Many hotels won't take reservations until the end of May for the Palio, and even then, they might require a 4-night stay. Now, lucky for us, or unlucky if you're looking for a crowd, we're not here during the Palio. If tranquility is important to you, ask for a room that's off the street, or consider staying outside the center of town. Rick Steves has his suggestions based on whether they are near El Campo, the old city center, near the Basilica of San Domenico, or farther from center. I've again color-coded them to easily figure things out. For around the El Campo, look for the hotels that are in dark red. Near the old center, look for the hotels that are simply red. Near the Basilica of San Domenico, look for the hotels in orange. And farther from the center, look for the hotels in light green. Now, our decision was the Hotel Ciursarelli. It has 48 rooms, a mix of classic and modern rooms in a beautiful frescoed neoclassical villa, and just outside the medieval town center. Now, we were able to book this location for around 120 euros a night. Sienese restaurants are a great value by Florentine and Venetian standards. For pasta, a good option is pici, a thick Sienese spaghetti that seems to be at the top of every menu. Reservations are generally wise for dinner, and I've highlighted the 2 restaurants that we have made reservations. Local guides and tour companies offer plenty of walking tours that cater to a variety of interests. I'm going to be doing Rick Steves' free city walk in Siena. I'll also be doing his self-guided tour of the Duomo. There are quite a few other options and other tours that I've included that Rick Steves suggests. There are also a number of licensed train guides available, and I've also included Rick's favorites on this slide. Our next stop takes us to a place of pilgrimage for many Catholics and Christians, the Basilica of St. Francis and the city of Assisi. I normally don't like to make many one-night stops anywhere, but we've actually got quite a few here in a row coming up, which is yuck. But we'll hopefully be able to enjoy the Basilica and some of the delights of Assisi after dark. Well, that wraps up our 8th stop on our Italian adventure, Siena. We've reached day 15 of our adventure, and I hope you have enjoyed this and you have found this series informative. If you're like me and planning a trip is almost as much fun as going on it, then be sure to tune in for all of our episodes. And so until next time, when we travel to Assisi for a day of exploring, be well and take care.